Hello everyone, this is Joanne, and today I'm going to be making an altered trading card. And that can be simplified by saying ATC. Now, I am part of Sandra from Blossom and Inspire, her group, and several of us have made altered trading cards. And we started last year, and it's continuing on this year. And so every time that we are to make one, we have three themes that we have to follow, or three things. And this time, the three items are a ladybug, the color green, and a number. So I thought about this a little bit, how I was going to combine these. And I was thinking, well, maybe we can have, ladybugs kind of climbing over a hillside. And I'm not sure all the elements I'm going to use yet, but I kind of pulled out some things. And I thought I would have a mama ladybug. Actually, I was going to cut one of these from the back because they're a little bigger and she looks a little bit more like she's climbing. The mama ladybug. And I'm going to have one of her, and then I'm going to have three little baby ladybugs following behind her on the hillside. And then I will cut out this number 4 and have that like kind of under the hill. And I like the way it's kind of not exactly straight. I like that it gives a little bit more character to the number. So I'm going to try that. And this year, so last year, let me back up a little bit. The altered trading cards were made using a little bit larger playing card. I think they were like 3x5. And then I believe it was one of Sandra's followers, Denise, who came up with using these Rolodex cards, the larger ones. There are smaller Rolodex cards, but these are the ones that are like 3x5. And Sandra was gracious enough from Blossom and Inspire to mail me a few of these because I did not have any. Now, I recently went to a garage sale and found a whole pack of them. So, Sandra, if you're watching, I will have enough for an eternity now. So this is, but last year we used like probably a card that was a little bit this size, I guess, like a flashcard size. I know I had a pack from the dollar store, which were like 3x5 that I used to use. And I wanted to show you, this is a card that Sandra had made. And so when we do these altered trading cards, the ATCs, Sandra has us mail our ATC to her, and then everyone who participates can be part of an exchange. And Sandra puts our names on a little tag, and then she draws out of a little bowl, and we receive someone else's altered trading card. That's why I don't have any of mine here to show you, but this is one of Sandra's that I got in the exchange, and that was last summer, so almost a year ago. And then I made a little ATC holder, and I have a few from some of the other ladies because I've participated in all the exchanges that we've done. And I think, so I guess there were 4 last year and there will be 4 this year. So this is the summer one. So I'll put Sandra's card over here. And let me just try to, I should take out my little fussy cutting scissors. I like this one. I also have this, what is it called? Cutter bee. I was going to call it Little Bee. Cutter bee, but for some reason I tend to grab this one more. I like this one, and I don't even remember where I got it, where I bought it, but it's called Acme Preferred Stainless. And sometimes I use the Cutter bee one as well, but I like this one. I don't know. So I already cut out a little sun, and I was thinking maybe I could put that in the top of the card. Let me put these elements off to the side a little bit now that you've seen them. This I thought I might put on the back of the card. And with my information, we have to put our information on the back, our name, the date we made it, things like that. So I thought maybe I could cut this out and then have my name above it or something. I don't know. I haven't figured all of it out yet. I'm kind of exploring this theme, and this always takes me a while. I did last night kind of draw a little hill, and let me move this up into the camera frame here. You probably can't see that. I have a little black line, but I'm going to just cut that. And actually, I could have used my regular scissors for this part. This is a very thin, kind of a tissue paper. And I had another scrapbook paper that was green that I was going to use, but I like this one. I don't know. I thought it's a little bit lighter weight. And I just decided to go with it. So I think... yeah, I think I'm going to go with this smaller hillside. But then I'm wondering if, like I had that idea for the number 4, if I fussy cut the 4 out. Let's just go ahead and do that now. And I want to save this mama ladybug on the other side without cutting the 4. Let's look at this. Okay. All right. So let me fussy cut this out. And just, and yeah, we can chat a little bit while I'm doing some of these tasks. So how is everyone? It went from like 80 degrees recently to like 50s, and today was like a high of 57. We took our 2, well, they're not little, one's big, our 2 dogs for a walk a little bit earlier, my husband and I, and that was nice. He had a break from work, and so we were able to walk them, and the weather is very sunny and nice, and just beautiful. Sorry, I'm kind of bringing this closer to me to cut it, to fussy cut it. So if it's out of the frame, but it doesn't really matter because it's just the number 4. It's nothing too exciting here, but we'll just do this. And this is kind of ruining the surprise for anyone who's participating in the exchange, who's watching this, because normally we don't see the cards until the day of the exchange. So sorry about that. I think I'll cut that out a little bit better later. And I like to cut out all the elements and kind of mix and match them on my card ahead of time to just see. I don't want to start gluing things down yet because I may scrap this idea and come up with something else. And I was going to show all of you a little picture of our dogs, but I see that I kind of rearranged my desk so that I could do this. So I don't see the photos right now. I will show you later. So, all right. Okay, so we've got the Mama Jama ladybug mama here. We'll cut her out. I have to come up with a name for her. Do you have any ideas? All right. Okay. I don't know why Esmeralda was going to... No, it should be an L name, right? Ladybug. Lillian. All right. Some of those older names are coming back into vogue. Have you noticed that? All right. So we'll put that off to the side. Where is she? So my idea was that she's kind of climbing up the hill, and her little babies, her little ones, are kind of, following behind her. But some of them are kind of, they're not close enough to her because she's the mom, she's leading, and she may be getting even a little frustrated. I don't know why. We're coming up with all these stories, but why not? Why not? It makes it a little more interesting. I am a reading and writing tutor, so I'm coming up with stories all the time for the kids, and adults. I do English as a second language, and I tutor little kids, so just a few hours a week. And so anyway, and I may have to fussy cut these a little better, but I just wanted to show you what is going on here. Okay, so this is, Lawrence. This is following behind her. That's Lawrence Ladybug. But ladybugs, okay, so maybe they're all female, right? Because they're ladies. There has to be male ladybugs. Now I want to look it up. Now I want to Google it. There are male ladybugs. I mean, hello, birds and the bees and all that. Okay, so maybe we'll just say one's a male. Lawrence. Okay, we have Lillian the mom. Lawrence. Lilith. All right, and then what's another L name? I should go with the one that's, my sister's name is Lori. We should go with another kind of fun name. Lilith, Lawrence, Lilith. Okay, Lorraine. I'm coming up with all these elderly names. All right, so kind of like that. And then I wasn't sure if I would use these tulips anywhere. And now I'm kind of thinking maybe no. Maybe more simplistic might be better. I don't know. Okay, and now I'm crafting and getting a little heated here. So I'm going to take off my sweater. All right. Okay, so the sun could go here somewhere. And I even thought it could be popping off a little bit of the card because I wanted to have this in there somewhere. And I had gotten this. My goodness, I'm a tutor and I'm not speaking correctly. I had gotten this from some junk mail. So I thought it would be fun to have explore the places you love and just have these little ladybugs exploring the places they love, the hillside. All right, we're really stretching here with the story, but let's go with it. All right, and I feel like this 4 is kind of wonky, and I'm going to fussy cut around that. I am a perfectionist, can you tell? And you can't be that way with art. You just have to do your best, and things, get screwed up, at least for me, and you have to just cover them and move on or do something else. Okay, see, this is kind of, I don't know where the sun is going to go. Maybe it can go on that side. Or maybe it's just crowding it out too much. Maybe I'll remove, no, I think it's cute with the sun. Okay, but I'm not sure if I want it on the other side. Maybe here, and I don't want to cover up his eyes. Maybe, okay. All right, something like that. I feel like the ladybug here. Maybe mom's further ahead. Okay. All right. Okay, something. All right, I'm going to glue these down. And in the back, I'm just going to leave more plain, I believe, and just have my name and all the info. But okay, take that back because I did talk about fussy cutting this out. Let's go ahead and do that now. And put this, we're going to put this on the back eventually here. Okay. And what else can we talk about besides ladybugs and their names? Yeah. Does anyone have any fun summer plans? Summer crafting plans? So I make travel junk journals, which I'm sure I will be showing at some point on the channel. And I always take a little envelope of supplies along with me, like my tape runner, not so much glue. Well, once in a while I do. I have to put that with my liquids. But I do... a few markers, and I always have a theme. So if we're going to Hawaii, for example, then I will have items that relate to Hawaii that I will put in my junk journal bag. And this is not a junk journal bag that I normally take on my trip, but this would be an example of about the size that I bring. These are just some old music sheets that I put in this little binder. And this is handy with a little zipper. But I always have something similar, or 1 or 2 or 3 of these, and put them in a little pack. And I bring them in my carry-on. And I'll even sometimes do the rough backgrounds and things on the airplane. Okay. And I'm a little scared to do this right now with all of you watching because I pretty much know something's going to happen, and then I'll be like, ah! And then I have been known to try to glue something and then it doesn't come out decent, and then I have to pull it apart, and lots of mistakes in Junk Journal Joanne's crafting room. And hey, what happens in the craft room stays in the craft room, right? Nah. Everybody's welcome to my craft room. And I now have this designated craft room. We moved to this house 3 years ago. And before that, I would just use like the dining room table or other surfaces to craft. Well, then when we moved here, I thought I'm going to have my own craft room. And all of the friends and family who have seen this craft room are jealous. I feel like that, at least they tell me that. Because it's a room just for me. It has all my favorite things in it, and it's not the biggest room. So that is one downside. So I have expanded a little bit to other rooms, yeah. But it's just so great having a designated space and having decor and things that I love. At some point, if I can get my craft room better organized and it doesn't look like a tornado went through, I will film a little bit in here. But right now, you'd probably be a little bit like, ooh, wow, how can you create in that madness? So, but I am in the process of organizing, but I feel like I'm always in the process of organizing my craft room. And perhaps the whole house, but I am quite organized, a quite organized person, I will say. But I do have a lot of books and reading materials. So my clutter is mainly those. I don't have a lot of other types of clutter, but I definitely have a lot of those. And ever since I was a little girl, I loved paper and reading and books. And so that has carried on into my life today. And sorry if I'm off camera with these, but it's easier for me to hold them a little closer and off to the side when I'm fussy cutting them. And which one was this one again? Lilith? Oh my gosh, I'm getting them confused. And I'm the one who named them. That's sad. Okay. All right. I'm glad I fussy cut these other ones out ahead of time so you're not sitting there going, man, we didn't need to watch you do all that. Okay. I am prepared. I have my glue here. Although, okay, there's always these little glue nubbies that form. Okay, now I think I am going to have that off to the side. And I better, before I glue this down, again, like I said, I want to kind of make sure I'm not covering up her eyes. And I can move them a little bit back further. Okay, all right, we'll just, you know what? We're just going to dab a little bit on the edge here. And then if I do need to move it a little bit, then we're fine. And I can always glue it a little better later. All right. So, yes. So, during COVID, I've always been artsy, crafty, whatever you want to say, creative. And during COVID, when we were all stuck inside, I started to go back to my roots of crafting. I'm going to push this little up so I don't move all of them, but, and when you're, okay, by the way, I'm kind of multitasking here. When you're doing this with this liquid glue or any kind of glue, I have different kinds of glue too. When you're using these, just do a little stream when you have like this magazine type material, because you definitely do not want, you don't want that to bubble up and to look really messy. So that is something that I would advise you. Okay. If you haven't used this kind of, yeah, I mean, you may be glue aficionados and you'll be like, yeah, whatever, Joanne. We already know that. It's like basic knowledge. But you never know. You never know what... I'm going to move that over a little bit. And I do have a tissue. Excuse my reach. All right. Okay, these guys are going to have to move off a little bit. All right. So yeah, you never know. Some people could be junk journaling for the first time, but I guess most people have glued before, but not everybody has used these types of glues, though, I will say. This ain't your Elmer's. Just remember back to like elementary school and using those white glues and things. And they're fine. They're fine. But I think these probably are more acid-free or whatnot. I don't know if it says that on there. Does it matter? It does say washable. I don't know. All right. So, get that on there. The sun is a little... I might have to glue it a little better. But... And hopefully I'm in frame here. This is... Oh, my. And I think I just shook the camera. All right. Okay. Now this, I feel like with this green here that I may, and this is a shiny surface this way, and this is more of a matte surface of this paper. It's like I said, it's like a tissue paper, but it came in sheets of 12 by 12. I think it was like Stamping Up. That company, I was buying my cutter from them, and then they had this paper pack for really cheap. Now I'm trying not to lift up on this tissue paper with this glue runner, because tape runner, because that can be a disaster, especially when I just got this hillside all measured out. Of course, it's sticking to my fingers. All right. Okay. It doesn't, I've always used a lot of glue and tape too. Oh my. Okay. Okay. So it's come out on my fingers. All right, let's do this. And I left this kind of, I'm going to, why do I always have glue and tape on my fingers? Okay. All right. I left this a little large. Okay. Now I just glued onto my scrapbook paper behind here because I am going to cut these a little finer around the ends. Okay. Now look, I already have a little bit of a scrapbook disaster here. You know what? I'm just going to do that on the back later. All right. Because I have this tape runner tape right there, and it's, well, you know what? It'll hold my card down. There we go. Why not? There we go. All right. Okay, now I want to make sure this 4 goes underneath, but I also want to fussy cut this, so yeah, a little bit better. Okay. Okay, I was saying, I got distracted. Okay. I started crafting more during COVID, and I started going to the Dollar Tree a lot, and I never had before. We had a little local Dollar Tree. It wasn't the biggest one around, but it was in our small suburb, and I felt, you know, pretty safe going in there because there weren't a lot of people shopping too much during that time in there. And yeah, so anyway. And so well, okay, let me step back a bit. I was watching a lot more YouTube videos because I was stuck inside, and I wasn't able to teach in person anymore. So I was doing a little bit of Zoom teaching, which was tough. And okay, that 4 can go there, I think. All right, you know what? We're going to use a little bit of this, and then we use a little bit of the, okay, a little bit of the glue too, but just so the middle. So I was watching a lot of YouTube videos on crafting and arts and, you know, all the creative stuff. And I thought, okay, and I can buy stuff at Dollar Tree because I didn't want to spend a mint. And then I made a lot of kind of neat stuff. And somehow, looking at paper crafts or what, I don't know, I came upon junk journaling. And I just loved it instantly because I've always been drawn to paper. And I used to scrapbook back in the day when I used to go to those scrapbook events and scrapbook weekends and all of that. Okay, now where's Mama Ladybug gonna come here? Okay. Maybe she's here. She's gonna come over a little bit because I feel like her little antenna are bopping into that you love part if I don't push her back a little bit. Okay. All right. I'm gonna use I forgot that was kind of taped down. Hopefully it doesn't rip when I pull it up. Then I'll be doing some fast repairs, I tell you. All right. So that's kind of the story of how I started junk journaling. So basically during COVID time, I guess. So I'm still learning too. So I'm not, you know, not a master maybe. I don't know. Does anyone ever become a master? I guess you do. Don't they say after so many hours of something, you're considered a master? Like a master crafter. That sounds cool. All right. Now, with this Tombow Mono Aqua, sometimes it's actually kind of nice sometimes that you can move it around, but it's also annoying if you know you want your little item to stay there. It takes a bit of pressing and a few seconds to get it to stay where you want it. So, okay, and these little guys. And I'm trying to glue these pretty well so that when we exchange them, when I send them in the mail. Now, are there going to be room for all 3 of them? Wow. Okay. Lawrence is like right up there on Mom's back end there a little bit. Okay. Okay, Lawrence is the little brown noser guy. He's the one that's, I'm here, Mom. I'm leading the pack. All right. Yeah, okay. Now this, all right. No idea how long this video is going to go either. Usually when I do ATCs, I kind of do them over a couple days, 2-3 days, but hey, I'm just going for it. Why not? Well, I put some planning time into it, so I guess now I'm just ready to roll. How about that? Okay. Oh, they're so cute. I love their little antennas. Ah, they're so cute. All right. I may do a little sky here later. You know, I usually start out kind of basic and then just kind of slowly add more details. So that is, okay, we're going to bring up the tape. Yes. Okay. Now we have to do the back. Now it would be really clever if I could get, maybe I could get this to stay on there. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering, though, where I want my name and all of that. So I might do my name and all of that. I could maybe do that. I could do the tulips. No, I feel like those are kind of weird there. Do you do that when you're crafting? Like you have an idea and then you're like, I don't know. Nah, I don't think so. All right, and I was talking about having this. But I feel like that's gonna, I think it's nice just to have it plain so that my name and the date and all that can go. And if I do want to add little elements or maybe ink the edges or something later, I will. And this is just kind of fun and whimsical. This isn't like antique-y looking or aged. When we talked about that in one of my other videos, is like inking. And this is my Distress Oxide Ranger ink vintage photo. And look at how messy this is on the top, because this is what I do with my dauber. So it's all like got that ink on there. But if I wanted this to look antique-y or more aged, then I would ink the edges, but I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. Okay. So this one I feel like would take the tape from, well, I'm going to do a scene. This is from a children's workbook, because I have a lot of those around because, like I said, I tutor. So maybe I'll just do a stream since I already have the glue out. Just really gentle stream. These can really waffle up on you if you're, you see I'm using all these technical craft terms. Waffle. Yeah. I don't know if that's even, whatever. Anyway, hopefully you know what I mean. If you don't, ask me. All right. But bubble up, I would say probably would be a better term to use. There we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. Cute. I think it's pretty much done. But like I said, I think I will add a little. Oh, I wanted to add little clouds and things. I have a blue pen here. But then I feel like, uh-oh, it could get kind of, you know, messy or, okay. I don't want to mess it up. You know how that happens? Many a time have I done that. Think, oh yeah, it's done. And then, oh yeah. And I will color that in a little blue or something. I suppose I could now, but you're probably like, oh, please spare us the insanity. Spare us. All right. Let's see. I don't even see my blue colored pencil anyway. So, oh, here's one. Okay. I do. These are cool. So these were from Dollar Tree, and I bought them just thinking they were like sturdy, you know, colored pencils. Well, they have little sharpeners on them. I can't remember how you do it. I saved the little card that shows how to do it. And you can, yeah, I think there's a little sharpener. Maybe I'm lying. I can't remember exactly now. I have to look it up. I feel like there's a little sharpener there, but also you can raise these up. You can click them up. And so they're just color point ink. I think ink is like a Dollar Tree brand. I don't know. But I don't know. This, oh boy, this could go bad. This could go bad. I can just see it. I can just see me not liking this and just being like, oh boy. Okay, well, it's not horrible, but I'm not sure if I like it. But okay, we're going with it. We're going rogue. We're doing it. Okay. It's not the greatest, but I feel like I should use like a crayon, a little something more. Okay, well, Anyway, that's when I feel like when I get too nitpicky and the perfectionism comes out, that's when it all goes awry. Okay. It's a little plain behind the ladybugs. Maybe I'll put something else right, like here. Oh, well, I already have a saying here. Explore the places you love. Got the sunshine, got the ladybugs. Okay. 4. So the 3 elements, I feel like I mentioned them, but maybe yeah, the color green, ladybug, and I've done 4 ladybugs, and a number. So those are the 3 elements. And I'll try to remember to link Sandra's YouTube channel below. I'm just learning how to do all that on my new channel, so I will try. And if you're interested in participating in the ATC exchange, I think it's not till like June 20 something. I'm not going to say the date because I'll get it wrong. But you can go to Sandra's YouTube channel and look up the info. And she has a really good playlist. She has categorized her playlists. And I looked up ATC the other day because I couldn't remember the date and the elements. And she has it organized really well. Plus, she's just a really nice person, so you'll want to follow her channel. Okay, and then I'll have to write my info here. I do have a little ATC. I have an envelope where I save all my ATC stuff. So I have some of the, and I write down the different, well, this was, yeah, green ladybug numbers, and then the spring one. And I put some money in here for shipping, but we do pay Sandra a little bit for shipping. But these are some of the elements that I can add on here as well, like as the, so that we can write my info on there. So I did save these, and they're all in an envelope. Wow. You really want me tutoring you or your children, don't you? Yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, great. Wow, you get paid for that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I will quit there. Quit while I'm ahead. I don't know if I'm ahead or not, but we'll quit there. And hopefully you kind of like this fun, whimsical little ATC. Again, I'll probably do a little something else with it. I don't know. Looks a little too white. Like I need to fill in something. I don't know. But, and then, like I said, I'll add this back here. So I don't know. I may work with a little more. All right. Thank you, everyone. Please like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're interested. And I just appreciate all of you being here. I really do. Thank you so much. And bye for now.